Us as individuals need to be able to understand that we were put here to do anything that we want to do, no matter what gets in our way. But it's only up to us to be able to fight those obstacles off and pick ourselves up and figure it out. My name is Shanata O. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and I am currently 28 years old, but I will be 29 next week. I was raised by my mom as a single parent. I was raised over east. It was the hood. It was a community of black people who just all stuck together. It wasn't the projects, but it kind of had similarities as in how the neighbors and the families all lived there long term. So we all was just like family in the village. My mom was a single mom of 4, and she pretty much had to work 2 jobs along with still trying to chase her dreams with going to a community college. She went to Robert Morris. So during that time while she was away, she wanted to keep her kids busy. She kept us very involved, and one of the things that I remember that defined me was being chosen to be a sponsor to go to a fundraiser with wealthy people to sell stickers. That really defined me as a person, because we ended up winning and we won a scholarship to actually fund to get renovations for our youth center in our neighborhood. And it was just really a defining moment for me, because at so young, I was able to step in a room and sit at tables with people who had this amount of money that I had no idea of, was selling them just a simple golden star that meant the world to them, just to be able to give back to those kids. So that was one thing that defined me, that will always be like my introductory story as into wow, I can really do anything at such a young age. A lot of people try to run from the struggle, but the struggle actually builds your character. So just knowing how to survive, off of struggle, and every day you figuring things out, because throughout our whole life, one thing you cannot run from is figuring it out. You will have to always figure it out. And a lot of people kind of want to skip the step of the struggle, but it really makes your character. But I had to realize, being from the struggle and having experience of both sides, the struggle and what life could possibly be on the higher end, it wasn't to be looked at as bad. It was looked at as inspiration, motivation, that I am here now, but I would eventually get to this level. I was the first child in my mom's household to actually attend a 4-year university. We kind of was just going in blind, using resources that she had from her job, from the youth center. With me being the first person, we kind of, I'm not going to say we did it wrong, but we did what we thought would be useful for me, which it wasn't. Education challenged me, because when you're in a university, you're just learning from books and words and experiences and doing projects, but you're not really put in a position where you have to think outside the box and actually think for yourself. So it's always a correct textbook answer. It changed me, because once I realized who I was as a person, and that I can do anything as long as I know why I want to do it, then the game was over. It changed me forever. I turned into this girl where I don't care if I do painting today, fashion tomorrow, and I go to the warehouse the next week. I'm on this journey of identifying myself and trying to find exactly what it is that Shanata wants. What's her passion? I'm dream chasing at this moment. So it changed me, because nobody at that point could ever tell me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, why you want to do this, you're not using your degree, because it's about me and my opinion. I know exactly why I'm doing it. It impacts me, because now I'm in this midst of learning exactly who I am and what I contribute to this country. And once I already know who I am as a person, I know what I can be when I walk in the room, I know how I can impact somebody, and I know now the way that I want to impact this country and this world. Support for me today is amazing. My mom was my #1 supporter in any and everything I have done. Although she might have gave me pushback, because it was different from her childhood and our generation is totally different, she still supported me. I recently lost my mom, so I don't have that person anymore, that person that you can go to that like will pick you up through anything. So my support today is just like next level. Like I've never ever imagined it to be this way, the way that people support me now. So without having her, I had to learn within myself how to pick myself up and be my own supporter, because not all the time can I pick up the phone and call a friend, call a cousin, call a brother, hey, I need you to motivate me and pick me up right now. So I had to learn how to do that myself. But at times when I have that self-conflict with myself and I'm just like, I'm low energy, I'm at 5%, I got phoned in a friend. I have a full list of people. I have great friends around me, great family members around me, and even strangers like on social media that just don't even know me and speak support into me. So it's just, today's support is great. Everybody want to be a part of like that social circle that you feel you identify with. So somebody can have a group and they can say join it, but if you don't feel like you identify with those morals, those group, those individuals that make up that community, you can be in it, but it's hard to find exactly what you're looking for. I'm stepping into a new phase in my life, a new identity of myself, and I'm stepping into a different level of women that I want to be in the rooms with. So those support from women is actually amazing, because I've already been meeting amazing boss girls, boss women that are just excelling in their careers and their businesses. And the conversations that we have is, everybody has a story, but you have to turn that pain into purpose. And everybody is just kind of maneuvering through life like none of us have been here before. So we all are here doing one thing in common, which is figuring it out daily. And just hearing that from another black woman, or even a woman that, like, no matter what race you are or what your story may be, as women we all have to stand together and fight this one common problem. Two of the biggest challenges that I am still trying to overcome is, one, the loss of my mom. Two, I was just in my very first car accident, like real car accident. So they both kind of interconnect. The reason why I was in a car accident was having an episode driving while grieving my mother, and those challenges have pretty much shaped this new identity that I'm walking into, and it kind of opened my eyes to life, what I need to do, how I need to wake up, how I have to start addressing my mental issues and getting closer to God. My mom was, as I stated, I was raised by her. She was like my primary parent. So she was like a great person. So like losing, and I've never lost anyone close to me. So it was like losing my mom was the first person I ever lost close to me. Then it was my mom, which is my best friend and everything. Then it was by COVID. So everything just hit like as a double whammy. During that time, it hit me hard, very, very hard. I suffered a lot of thoughts that I thought that I would never ever think to myself or about myself. And it's 2 years later, and it just feels like it's only 2 months ago that it happened. So I have accepted that I will forever grieve, that I will forever have my moments, that I will forever miss her. But it's not more so that I'm crying now about my mom is gone. It's crying because I'm getting ready to excel, and I want her to be that cheerleader. But I got to remember that she's always with me spiritually, and the reason why I have gotten this far is because she's still up there in heaven, cheerleading me and leading me and showing me where I need to go. When my mom was here, she spoke life into me, and I had a swimwear business that I was just dragging, holding on to, because it was the last piece of thing that me and her created together that just made us like the rawest mother and daughter bond. But when I lost her, I found myself spending money into this business, just trying to keep it running. But it wasn't the business that I was trying to keep running. It was what we built. But I had to go back to the drawing board and remind myself that it wasn't the business that I needed to drag along. It was the sense of making her happy and keeping my word. And as always that she would tell me is that you are going to be this big person. Like, you are going to make money. You're going to be in suits like I just said. And the way to that I thought was through my swimwear business, but it's actually through what I can be walking into now. So that's my goal and what keeps me going. When an obstacle happens, that's because it's limiting you. It wants you to get through this. It wants you to figure it out. I had to get out of the mindset of thinking that anything that I wanted would just be a smooth straight line with no bumps, no lumps, no curves, no detours, no nothing. And that's not the case. That's never been the case ever in life. The way that I maneuver through these obstacles is just by knowing that when an obstacle hits in front of me, that just means it's a limit. But as always, I am limitless, so I never let nothing stop me. That's just something in my way. But guess what? I know how to jump, I know how to hop, I know how to go over, I know how to go under, and I know how to go around. So let's do it again. And it's just kind of that simple thing in life. I just always say to myself, when you are growing, there's always going to be obstacles in your way because they want you to stop. They don't want you to keep going and reach this, because if it was that easy, everybody would do it, but not me. What I am looking forward to is stepping into my new identity. I am changing from this little girl, from this wild girl, from this life-free girl to this more caring, compassionate, self-awareness business girl. I want to be conscious of how I move based on how I want people to view me. So if I feel like I want to help people and lead them, or give my best advice to anyone that asks, I want to live in that truth. I want people to be like, oh, she is doing this, and if she's saying she's doing it and I look at her and she's actually doing it, then I can do it too. So I look forward to that. And just on a family aspect, I do have an amazing man, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do look forward to marriage and children. What makes Shanata limitless is I am so secure in myself that I know there is no room that I can step in, whether it's a room full of wealthy, a room full of students, a room full of men, that I cannot contribute or have someone walk away with feeling as though that they learned from me. When I step into a room, I don't think that no one is better, no one is less of me. I just focus on myself, and I come in with just speaking as me, being me. And if people attract to me and love me for who I am and what I do, then that would be like a bond that we would create. To me, Shanata is limitless because she doesn't let anything stop her, no matter what room she walks in, no matter who she's around, no matter what obstacle is thrown at her. She figures it out, she keeps going, and she does not stop. And even on her bad days, she doesn't leave people behind. She's picking people up as well. She's mentoring people. She's motivating people. She's never stopping, and she does not use other people's struggles to put her at a higher field. She's always helping, and she's always inspiring. So that's what makes Shanata limitless. So women who needs encouragement, my advice to you would be to know your why. If you have people in your circle and they just keep justifying what you're doing is right and not actually letting you see the difference, or letting you know that you were in the wrong, where you have to grow, you have this attitude problem, you don't know how to talk to people, you this and that, you don't want to be around people like that. So my encouragement to you is to get around women who you actually see who's living in what you want to do. See how they move, study how they are, and not saying that you have to take everything from that individual, because remember to always be yourself. You are you, and that's what makes you unique. But my encouragement to you is to definitely find anybody that's doing what you want to do and study that person. Read your books, educate yourself, and know that you can do anything that you want to do.
And that's on what? Period.
Period.
That was